What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video. And today we're going to be looking at a 2-round mock draft per PFF. Austin Gale dropping it for us. So let's check it out, because I know last time I looked at Austin's, he had some very unique takes. And I'm so happy we're seeing 2 rounds, because so we can finally see some development of the draft. If you guys are new, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Goal is 4K by draft day, and we're going to be blowing way past that. So maybe it's 4K, 4.5K by draft day. Maybe we can be a little bit risky, say 5K. But for now, I'm just very appreciative that you are here. And I would be glad for you to stick around. So let's go into it. Starting off with the number 1 pick, we have Aiden Hutchinson. You guys know my argument for not going Aiden Hutchinson number 1 overall. It has nothing to do with Aiden Hutchinson. It has to do with the class. And again, number 1, you should hit on your pick. But of course, I think there's a couple players that are big hits in this class. One of them being Evan Neal. So when you look at the edge position, you could probably get someone in the third round that could be a late first in most drafts. That's just the way it's built. We have, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 edge rushers that I have graded out as first round talents. Just unbelievable value in this class. So Aiden Hutchinson, he's a beast. No doubt about it. You're going to get guaranteed production from him year after year after year. I just say, like on the offensive line, there's 3 tackles, and then it's a big question mark past that. And I think that going after and securing a guy who I have ranked above Aiden Hutchinson anyways is the best choice. But again, I understand why people, if this happens, I am far from against it. Detroit Lions getting KT. You know, I'd love it. I think that all these concerns with his fire, one, I think that they're just framing it in a way to make us think that he's a lazy piece of shit, and he's not. He just might have selective effort. And a guy like Dan Campbell is somebody where if I were playing for him, I sure as hell would work my ass off, because that guy really cares about his players. Think about how Mike Tomlin was a player's coach. I think Dan Campbell is that. So I think this could be a really good spot for him. I'd be a big fan of this pick, because again, this is one of the teams that do not need an offensive tackle. So I'm fine with it. Texans going Ekem Ekwonu. A lot of people have Ekem above Evan Neal. So in my mind, I'm going to think this is Evan Neal, because I know PFF's a little bit lower on him. But Ekem's an absolute monster. I send him to Texans in my mock drafts all the time. Big fan of Ekem. I just think that Evan Neal is a lot better. New York Jets. Unfortunately, the editor did not get the new font. This is like heading 3 font. But jokes aside, Derek Stingley at number 4. I understand PFF's position on this, but I think it's a crap pick. If Evan Neal's there, you take him all the way. Kyle Hamilton, another one. I just don't think Derek Stingley is that good. We haven't seen him in 2 years perform very well, and injuries have been there year after year after year. So the past 2 seasons have been crippled because of that. No pun intended in terms of cripple. But still, I think Derek Stingley provides a lot of upside. This is probably the team I would want him to go to least, though. So, yeah, just not a huge fan of it personally. New York Jets getting Evan Neal out of Alabama. I am so happy he actually sent them there. Yeah, I think an offensive tackle to the Giants would be phenomenal. So, yeah, here we go. Here's the video from last year. This is what really solidified Evan Neal as like that number 1 guy to me. Like, I'm not even going to play it for you, because I have a weird feeling it would just screw it. We're doing it. And it works. Just look at that. Like, what the hell? That is not okay at all. Like, that is not normal in a good way. So yeah, the Giants get a stud. Panthers getting Charles Cross. Big fan of that pick. Again, I think it's quarterback or offensive tackle. I'm hoping it's the latter, not the former. Just, I hope Matt Rule's not selfish and realizes that maybe his time there is done, but at least he can actually like prove that he did something really good for the franchise. If they go after Tyler Linderbaum, I'd actually be perfectly fine with that as well. If they think Brady Christensen is a long-term answer at left tackle, I don't, but he could be. Number 7, the Giants getting George Karlaftis. I've just been a big fan of this one as well. I just don't think George goes that high because of all the hype for the other edge rushers. He's still a top 10 guy on my board. I love George, and I think he'd be a phenomenal edge rusher for the New York Giants. And honestly, he just really does scream New York Giants. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get him, or if they're going to want him over someone like Tyler Linderbaum. But in this draft, they already got an offensive lineman. So big thumbs up from me. Atlanta Falcons going Kyle Hamilton here. That's just a damn steal. Yeah, he's number 2 on their board. I think he's number 3 on mine. Just a guy who's on another level. Big fan of him. Packers going Drake London, projected trade with the Broncos. So honestly, if they do this, I think it's a win for both teams because Drake London's a stud. I don't think that he's number 10 on the board good, but that is yet to be solidified. I need to wait for some more all 22 to come out before I make my official decision on him. Sorry for the whistle, but Drake London's a great wide receiver. I just don't know if like your one pick that you're going to be getting this round. Actually, you get a second round pick this round too. Ooh, fun. But I just don't know if I would use it on Drake London per se. If I were sitting here, because I keep saying like I wouldn't do it, like what else would I do, right? Got to be able to put my money where my mouth is. I would definitely look at the edge rushers for sure. But again, you can get that later at your second pick. Wide receiver is not a bad option. Again, I have Garrett Wilson up very high, so I'd probably go with that route. But I know that Drake London is there, Garrett Wilson so far. I mean, honestly, it is a really good pick. The linebackers, you can certainly look at that one. Like Nakobe Dean would be a good option for this team. Yeah, honestly, the more I think about it, yeah, I'm fine with that. Again, just a really good wide receiver. Treylon Burks in there as well. That's a great design, by the way. Whoever did that did a great job. So they don't need to hear that, but I think it's phenomenal artwork. New York Jets going Garrett Wilson. Love it. Happy to see that he's up there. So I was just talking about how I'd rather have Garrett Wilson, but, you know, he's one pick behind. Whoop-de-doo. Next, you got Seahawks going Sam Howell. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Oh, I did not realize that there was a trade for Russell Wilson. So, yeah. Wow. Honestly, at the wow. That just like, wow. To see Sam Howell be QB1, I got a little bit less excited about him when I started watching every snap in Mobile. You could tell that he has a lot of developing to do. Still has a crazy good arm. I would honestly go Malik Willis over Sam Howell at this point, just because I think the ceiling's higher, but I do like Sam Howell quite a bit. That is a surprising pick, though. Like, if I were the Seahawks, I would have traded back from that spot and then gotten a quarterback. But I mean, Sam Howell's also really young, so I can understand that. Just wow. Okay. That hit me out of nowhere. Vikings going Trent McDuffie. They just love Trent McDuffie to death. I'm just gonna, you know what, screw it. After this video, I'm gonna be redoing my Trent McDuffie eval. I gotta see it again. Browns going Chris Olave. Do not like him that much. He's 19 on their big board, so I understand that. So that's where I'd probably put Treylon Burks. But I have Chris Olave as a second round pick. I'm just not that big of a fan of him. Baltimore Ravens against Sauce Gardner. #dream pick. David Ojabo to the Eagles. I like Jermaine Johnson a little bit better. I'm not that big of a fan of David Ojabo, but you can't deny his ceiling is ridiculous. He is definitely ridiculous. So big fan of what David Ojabo could be. Just, it's a big project. And then Booth. I love Booth. I know that my buddy who's an Eagles fan would love Andrew Booth to this team. I think that'd be a phenomenal choice, especially with Darius Slay being your mentor. Big plus. You got a big thumbs up from me on that. Chargers going Jameson Williams. I think that'd be a good duo. He ranks probably around like more like 40 or 50 on my big board, but in combination with another wide receiver, he is far from out of the contention for this pick. The New York Saints, or New York, wow, okay. New Orleans Saints, Malik Willis. That'd be a stud pick. I'd love that. Then next we got the Eagles going Devin Lloyd. So we're going all away from the Howie way of thought. I would not go Devin Lloyd just because, one, I think there's some really good linebackers around too, but two, you have Tyler Linderbaum on the board. I love my good old boy, Tyler Linderbaum. I do know that Tyler Linderbaum might fall out of the first because Austin Gale's not very high on him. Vegas Raiders going Desi. Ooh, so the Steelers traded for Derek Carr in this. I'm not a fan of trading 2 firsts for Derek Carr, but honestly, I wouldn't give it an F grade. I'd probably give it like a C grade, just because I know that Derek Carr could actually do some really good things. Just that really cripples the ability to revamp the franchise. So that's that. Number 21. Oh, I didn't even talk about this. Raiders getting Desmond Ridder. Yeah. I'm not as much of a hater against Desmond Ridder as I used to, but you know, if you're trading away Derek Carr and you're going to get Desmond Ridder and then a first round and a third, I'm not a very big fan of that. New York, geez, wow. I keep saying New York. New England Patriots going Travon Walker. I'd be scared shitless if I was in that division. Bill Belichick gets Travon Walker. Straight up scared shitless. Raiders going Traylon Burks. Oh, that'd be a dream pick. Cardinals going Tyler Linderbaum. I assume that I don't know what's going on with Hudson, but I like Tyler Linderbaum's a stud. He's their 12th guy. He's my number 4. So, I mean, I love it. Cowboys getting Kenyon Green. This is the ideal pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Over if every single player arguably was on the board, I would still go Kenyon Green. Not true. I would probably go after somebody else like Ikem Ekwonu or after Evan Neal, but this is up there with some of the best in the class in terms of the value of this pick, and I love it. Buffalo Bills getting Jordan Davis. Oh, wow. I'm not the only one who's low. I'm going to be honest. I have the access to their big board too. I just am arrogant and didn't look at it. Wow, I did not know that. I thought I was just the biggest hater ever. Jordan Davis is around 39 or 40 on my board as well. I think that he's just not a 3-down defensive lineman, and he has a freakish size, but definitely I would not take him if I were the Bills. I'd rather get Travis Jones in the second, but again, still not a terrible pick. Tennessee Titans going Jermaine Johnson out of FSU. I would love that for Jermaine. Jermaine's just such a stud, and Tennessee. I mean, I love him. I've been saying that for a long time. Big fan of him. Buccaneers going Devontae Wyatt. Would not be mad at that at all. I really wouldn't. I like corner to them, but if they go Devontae Wyatt, again, never going to criticize him for that. Nakobe Dean falling. I was talking about, there you go. I was talking about him at number 9, and well, he's here. Honestly, I'm not. Some of the players falling are in my board, in my mind, like ridiculous. But again, guy's a phenomenal player. So, and good players fall, and he's also 6 foot, so it could happen. I think it's a great fit. Dolphins going Bernard Ryman. I don't like him, but I understand why they took him. They love him. I'm just not that big of a fan of Bernard Ryman. I feel like it's the same thing with Brady Christensen, but I think Bernard Ryman's a lot better than Brady Christensen was. I have him as a mid to late 2 because there's a lot to work with, but there's also a lot to be worked on. That's it. Chiefs going Kyer Elam. I love Kyer Elam. I think that'd be honestly a pretty good fit. I might go wide receiver with Jahan Dotson at that point. I used to be a big hater of that pick, but I just love Jahan Dotson. So that's just me. Bengals going Trevor Penning. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see it. Definitely, you're not going to get much worse at the right tackle position. You can get a lot better. Detroit Lions going Matt Corral. I'd be a big fan of that pick. Honestly, I love Matt Corral with a passion. Again, my former quarterback. So, seeing him go to a place where he can sit and probably get healthy as well is going to be a huge plus. Then we got 33. Yes, Brian Asamoah. I didn't even know PFF was that high on him until like earlier today. I love Brian Asamoah with a passion, and, it makes me happy. It makes me smile to see that other people see it too. I thought it might have been crazy. But Jalen Petrie, another really good player, did not know he was that high on the big board, but definitely someone who I'd want to look at. And Detroit does need a safety like it's nobody's business. Texans going Jahan Dotson. Mwah! I love that. And Jets going Dax Hill. They actually have him as a corner. So people who are killing me for saying he's a slot corner who can also play safety. I mean, hello. But Dax Hill as a safety for the Jets wouldn't be too shabby. I'd probably rather go after Jaquan Brisker. Kingsley Enagbare going to the Giants. I think they passed on edge rusher in the first. Did they? So we have to go all the way back here. But what was the 7th pick? It was George Karlaftis. Interesting. I don't know why they would go outside of that again. I guess best player available, but he's not even ranked that high. That one's a little bit weird for me. Honestly, I would look at linebacker for sure. I would also I would even look at safety. Again, Jaquan Brisker's on the board. You have Julian Love there for a year, and then you also have McKinney there for 2, and then you can run a third safety in that. So, it is what it is. Then you got Leo Chenal. I love Leo Chenal. I think he'd be a great fit on the Jets. Zion Johnson here for the Bears. I'd be a big fan of that. I'm really liking this draft. Falcons getting Kenny Pickett. If he falls here, I'd love it. I would. That's a guy who could step in day one. And then next year, or you can even trade away Matt Ryan. Like, that is a guy who can continue keeping the franchise at least competitive. At 40, that's worth it. DeMarvin Leal as an edge. Yes, man, this guy loves the Green Bay Packers, doesn't he? I love DeMarvin Leal as an edge. I don't think I've ever been this happy about a mock draft. Realistically, like, this is pretty good. Ed Bicchetti to the Seahawks. I'd love that too. Roger McCreary to the Seahawks via Washington. So that was the trade for Russell Wilson. Oh, that was the pick. The Russell Wilson trade. That was a shocker, as well as the Las Vegas one. Roger McCreary. I'm pretty sure I did that in my own mock. So nice. Boya Mafe to the Minnesota Vikings. That totally fits what Minnesota would do as well. Travis Jones to the Browns. I just literally recorded my Browns mock, and I'm going to be recording the offseason soon. So it should be out possibly today. So check out for that one. And yeah, defensive interior is far from something that they should not address. I did it maybe a little bit later than some others would, but I think this would be a perfect spot to do it. You have Tommy Togiai and Jordan Elliott, and that is it on that interior. Baltimore Ravens going Drake Jackson. He's going to turn out to be a stud if that's the case. Myjai Sanders going to the Dolphins. We got to run on interior. We got to run on interior defensive linemen and edges here. The D lineman class. Ah, damn, represent. Carson Strong here for the Colts. I heard rumors that he's not going to be that Carson Wentz is not going to be playing for the Colts. So I have a weird feeling Carson Strong is very similar to Jacob Eason in terms of just like, I don't know. It just has that weird feeling to me. And I'm not going to write off Carson Strong, but wow, they don't have him in their top 64. I had him as a third round. I thought I was a hater. I'm learning shit, and I really shouldn't be because I can easily see the big board. Logan Hall for the Chargers would be a very good get. Sky Moore for the Saints. Wow, he's number 30 on their big board. I think that'd be a very good fit as well. Jaquan Brisker to the Eagles. You guys know me. I'd love that. Kyler Gordon to the Steelers. I would love that too. What is up with this? What is this mock? What is this? This is fake. This is some bullshit. Not real. Lewis Cine to the Patriots. I could take it or leave it, to be honest. But Christian Harris to the Raiders. I could so see that happening too. Cardinals going George Pickens. Dude, you're getting AJ Green's replacement with AJ Green. I dig it. Cam Thomas to the Cowboys. That one I might push back on. I think that other positions would be more valuable. Did Perrion Winfrey already go? I have a weird feeling that he did, but I'm just bugging. I don't think he went. So I'd probably go Perrion Winfrey at that point. If I'm going to go defensive line, I would definitely like to look at the wide receiver room, but a lot of them I know are off the board. Nick Bonito to the Bills. So I was just talking about how much I love the draft class. It's starting to wane off at the end. I'm not that big of a fan of this. Again, they went two edges back to back in the first and second round last year. Don't think that they should do that again. Wide receiver definitely should be on that list. Dylan Parham, man. I mean, the guy, I literally said he was a UDFA. Somehow he's at 68 on the big board. Not that big of a fan of that pick, to be honest with you. Buccaneers going Justin Ross. Wow. They have him high. I need to watch some more Justin Ross, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't have an educated enough opinion on him this season, but I mean, I love the upside. Green Bay Packers, Chad Muma. There you go. Don't think he should be brought on. I'm going to be honest. Like, you already got one linebacker. I don't think you need to go back to back, but I think offensive tackle wouldn't be bad. You can go offensive lineman for sure. Niners going Darian Kennard. That feels kind of like a Niners pick, but I don't know. I'm glad to see that he's a little bit lower on their boards too. Jalen Tolbert, happy to see that he makes it into the second as well to the Chiefs. Bengals, Jamari Sawyer that would be a good pick. I like that pick. And Green Bay Packers, ending off of Trey McBride, who should have went a lot earlier. That is honestly, like, there were some bad picks here and there, but overall, for a 2-round mock, he might have missed on maybe 10, 15 out of 64, like big misses. That is phenomenal. So cheers to Austin Gale. I mean, I might even just shout him out on Twitter because he doesn't need my approval. But hands down, so far in the Mock the Mock series, this may be the best Mock the Mock ever. especially factoring that second round. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, honestly, that's insane. It is insane. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys on the far side. Peace.